never knew love would be like this. You work to find and you fight to.
We registered this organization in 2022 in Homa Bay, and we wanted to work with women, youth, and persons with disability on a multifaceted of issues that they face in the rural areas. And along the way, having gender democracy and equality as our main focus, among other areas that I will not talk about today, we came up with this idea to have the stories of women who are in politics highlighted and not just talked about at the polling station or before voting, or just another story every year concerning how the 2/3 gender rule is never being met every single election year. And for us, we were dreaming beyond just 2/3 or a third, as is always projected even at international level. We dared to dream about a 50-50 scenario whereby there are equal opportunities for both men and women in parliamentary elective posts. And that is how the idea of Young Women in Politics 50-50 campaign was born.
Okay, we know that the donor space is shrinking, and we don't want to do this project in a silo. We want to partner with different individuals. And as you've heard from these other different counties, we've interacted with the county government, as I've said, religious leaders, village elders, the mama mbogas, and now coming to Nairobi. Nairobi is where the networks are. There are many organizations in Nairobi. When people network in Nairobi. And we thought that bringing this conversation here and now making the connections. Now we connect Kiambu to Samburu, to Bomet, to the other regions, because it's really important for us to keep the conversation going, because it is important. We want to understand, how does campaign financing work? What role does culture play when it comes to politics? We are developing a curriculum currently, so we'll be calling on different individuals to come verify what we've kind of developed, because we're going to be training this women in 2026. And your voices are important, because we want to make sure that the toolkit that we are creating is as inclusive as possible, so that we can involve as many people as possible. And if anyone also is interested to train other people, they can contact us, and we can also share the same toolkit. We've also been doing the dialogue sessions. Now, these dialogue sessions have been important to identify what issues are there. As much as we've done the documentary, do the people actually agree with what is being spoken about? Are these the issues that are actually on the ground? And what else can we do? We want to get solutions from you, as an audience, and from you as participants in the project. We also, as lawyers, Judith and I are lawyers, and we're also creating a network of lawyers where in 2027 and further on, if maybe Wanjiku has problems in the nomination process, she can contact us, and we can see how we can help guide when it comes to court cases and things like that. So I think as we proceed, let's have an open mind and give solutions and be open to discussing the issues that are brought out in the documentary.
So many of the other people who think they owe politics started coming and kuniuliza, sasa, where are you going with this girl? Kamwambia, we are going somewhere. So I never left Zipporah. She was always on my side.
During 2020, when there was the COVID, outbreak, we saw the countries that were led by women doing very well in mitigating, issues to do with COVID-19. And so when we have women at the helm of leadership, be quite assured that everything is going to go well, because we are good planners. Manze,
I wanted equality because we are all raised and brought up penye mama ametuambia women are brought up wewe amka utusavie chai. So I wanted to break that chain, and I wanted to show the women out there, not necessarily in Limuru, even in a place where I'm raised in, because huko kwetu ni sana. You see, it's a Maasai land.
Fronting myself as a young person, as a young woman, it is a win by itself. It is a statement that I am sending to other young women. That is the person I would call was my mentor at the time. So your mentor has told you can't do it. And I was like, well, these are fellow women who are doing this to me. So the message that was being sent to me as a young woman is that this space is not for you. One, you're not financially endowed. Two, you're too young. What do you know? Why are you even here? What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to exist in this space? And consistently, I do recall, I was added to one of the platforms because on my 28th birthday, I had this beautiful dress, which was like thigh-high slits on the sides. And then, now it had been plastered all over. And people were saying, no, you can't send this on to Parliament. And I asked them to add me, and I told them, well, you don't send me to Parliament so they can ask me what is the length of my dress, So they can ask me, do you have a husband? Do you have children? You send me to Parliament because I am educated, I have integrity, and I have the capacity to represent you as a member of Parliament.
we are here, we are women, and we can do it. We've gone to class, we've gone to school, we've, done governance, and we want to be in those spaces.
Usijali ati vile wamekuambia, kutukanwa, being humiliated in front of people, kuambiwa kale kama mwanamke, hiyo yote tumeitwa, and we are going somewhere. So I want to encourage each and every one of us. Now our men, our husbands, our sons, kindly support us. There is something called Men for Women. Sindio? Kwa hivyo let us support one another.
Yeah. Niliomba nikapewa, jamani, mia nanifa, ananipenda, meniteka hapa ni kiama, hapa sitoki, sibanduki, sihamisi, muachi, ananipenda, mwingine staki, mwingine.
Being unmarried, not having a father who's alive or a male guardian who can be able to speak on my behalf was quite unfortunate. And knowing my leadership capacity and being denied, even going to speak for myself. And every time now that I have male friends who sit in councils of elders, every time they tell me they're going to go for meetings, I tell them I've sent you, and tell them we women want to occupy that space too. So they tell me, there's one space you will never occupy as women, is the Council of Elders meeting.
In fact, I used to say I'll never vie, I'll never vote, I'll never do anything. And then after that, I got married, had started a family. Politics was uko behind my life. And then it took me back to what my parents were telling me. My family has never been supportive of my political journey. So I was like, Aki God, my parents were right. What was I doing? Unajichukia because you were told. See, I told you, you didn't listen.
Everything can change, Look at our situation right now as a people. We're all talking about Gen Zs and what they've been able to, the new slogan that they've come up with. There's the element of partylessness, the one conversation that we do not want to have as a people, or the one conversation we are looking away from. They've talked about being tribeless, and it's because at the end of the day, it's the same problem that someone in Murang'a and someone from Kiambu and someone from Mandera. It's the economy, it cuts across board, So I think if we have a leadership, again, a cultural leadership that is anchored on the betterment of our society and wanting to see us move forward, I think a lot can change. Yeah, but there's one thing that we keep on saying as a people. Kenyans, we are not short of policies. like we are of leadership.
Thing is, young people think politics is a straightforward game, which is not. We saw when young people walisimamisha nchi in 2024 and they were given an opportunity to negotiate and refused. Somebody alikuja akapita katikati yao na akachukua deal yao. So young people started realizing, if we say no, then there's somebody else who will come and take the cake from us, And now they've started realizing politics is not as straightforward. And the other step is that now we must do political education on why political parties is important for them. But they have trust issues. But which party, the bone of contention is which party will they trust? Which party will they see this one can take care of my interest as a young person? And I tell them, a lot of young people have joined DCP to run for office. And I tell young people, if you don't become a party member, then you don't support young people during nominations, because nominations are done through party lists. So if you're not a party member, then this young person who's running for office, utamwangusha, that like you won't be there to vote for them. So for me, is to teach young people why it's important to belong to a party.
So number one, I think, just to piggyback on what you're saying, many Kenyans think we only have like 6 parties or 7 parties. We have over 80 parties. I think currently we are at 91? Yeah, 91 parties. Many Kenyans know like 5. We have alternative parties that people can join, and also that people can build. The challenge I find in this country and also in many countries is that many people join political parties during elections, and after elections, political parties are shells. There's no one who remains to build political parties after elections. Like, they're literally shells. It's the NEC team that remains. Now, until the next election, then we go with the euphoria you're saying. Then if guys feel like this is the party that is going to win, then young people or women and men, all of us want to run to that particular party. I think there's an opportunity to build the parties that are already there, and it starts now. Even if it's party number 57, which party is that? Join, find out why people don't know about it, what is their ideology. If they don't have one, help them build an ideology, because we also struggle with ideologies and ideas in this country, yeah?
When I saw the youth are now active, it goes to show them they have realized the reason I'm unemployed is not because of this tribe or because of this one. It's because those who we send to parliament to influence and shape legislations, those who are in executive to influence and shape policies, do not do so. They do not create a conducive environment for businesses to thrive that will end up creating opportunities or jobs. And that is why they were very bitter about the tax policy. They were very bitter about, everything. They are saying this finance bill is not working. So I have a feeling that it's a good thing that they have got there.
Thankfully, we have a progressive constitution, and now mobilizing and utilizing that power to make sure that now we front young people, young women, and now organically across the board. I think this is the first time I have done a campaign where someone is in DCP, someone is in another party, I'm in another affiliation. I don't think people have seen that, and that for me is the future of politics, where it's issue-based.
And so it annoys me when you're in spaces where men are asking you, so how will you run for office? Man, you've done harder things at the same time. So why are we being judged on all these tenets that they also used to disqualify us? Yet they prop men on the same pedestal. The men who ask you, are you married? Do you have children? How will you run for office? Nobody's asking them, where's your wife? Actually, we only see their spouses when they're being sworn in. On the political campaign, you see very few men with their wives there behind them, but you're expected to have a man to lean back on. It's the most ironical thing. The same structures that are being used to cut you down are the same ones that they're using to give men these platforms. When people are questioning your integrity, and we've seen, the numbers show us, we've had more men in political spaces than women, and the integrity is the worst. But then you have to prove your integrity before you run for office. It's such a skewed system.
Machozi yatoka kila siku, sitachoka mimi kukupenda. Watakaosema